Welcome to CapEd Credit Union More Than Banking. The National Week of the Young Child just took place, where communities around the country celebrated our youngest learners. And of course, CapEd Credit Union, they're always on the forefront of education, connecting families to learning resources. So we are joined today by Beth Oppenheimer to tell us more. How are you today, Beth?
I'm great, thank you.
Great, yes, thank you for joining us. And this is such an exciting week that just wrapped up. And kind of take us through a little bit about that. Tell us about the Week of the Young Child and why Idahoans celebrated it.
Sure, so Week of the Young Child, it's a national celebration, and it took place April 1st through the 7th, and it's really a time for Idahoans to recognize the value of early childhood education and to also recognize those who care for and work with our youngest children.
Yes, and it's so important too. I have 2 young children myself, and I'm always thinking about ways that I can make sure they're better educated and learning and on time developmentally and all these different things. And so I get that as a parent from that perspective. So, but why do we highlight early learning, and what impact does it have directly in our community?
Sure. So as we know, brain development from birth to age 8, it is really the most critical time in brain development. And it's really an opportunity for us as parents, for us as a community, to really provide those supports to young children and their families.
Yeah, and it's so important. You mentioned from birth to age 8. That feels a lot of pressure as a parent. I'm like, okay, like this is it. These are the years that we really need to get in and make sure our kids are taken care of. And I know that CapEd Credit Union has been so involved in that. They've been on the forefront of education for children and right here in our community. So in what ways do they support you guys?
They have, you know, CapEd has been such a tremendous partner in early learning and early literacy with Idaho AUIC as well as other partners in the Treasure Valley. And one of the things that they help support us is a program called Ready for Kindergarten. And Ready for Kindergarten is a workshop for parents with children birth through age 5. And what it does is it helps parents recognize how to play with purpose with their young children and how to develop those early literacy, early math, and social emotional skills just with everyday activities. And we offer these workshops in school districts, libraries, community centers across the state. Last year we were in 59 locations across the state where parents could come to a workshop. They get a kit of toys and activities, and parents just learn how to build those early literacy skills with their children at home.
That's a huge resource for so many in our community, and I keep referencing myself because I'm right there. I'm in the thick of it. I have a 3-year-old and a 10-month-old, and so I'm always looking for ways to be more involved.
Have to sign you up for a workshop, and they're free to families.
Okay.
With CapEd support, we're able to offer those free to families.
That's great, because you mentioned the playing with a purpose, right? Learning while you play, and sometimes a lot of parents, we kind of get on the just throw on a show, or you know, the screen time that can happen. But how do we play and involve our children in ways that help better educate them where they're learning skills and learning things?
Sure. So a great example of what parents can do is if you're at the grocery store with your children, and use that as a learning opportunity. Oftentimes we see parents, you know, hand the child a phone or iPad or something, but really capitalize on those opportunities. And if you need apples, and you say, hey Tommy, we need 5 apples today. Can you help me count 5 apples? That builds those early math skills. Or we need some bananas. What color is that banana? And you know, what sound does apples start with? So it's a really good way to just use everyday activities, whether you're at home cooking together, whether you're having family night playing games, and there's so many opportunities just to engage with your young children and build those skills.
And it's a great way to keep your kids involved in the everyday life of the grocery shopping, the cooking, the cleaning, different things like that, to where they develop those skills and they're learning at the same time.
Absolutely.
So those are really great resources. And if people want to give back to the Idaho Association for Education of Young Children, what do they do? Where can they go? How do they do that?
Sure. So our website, idaho-aeyc.org, is a really good resource. We've got resources for families. You can go sign up for a Ready for Kindergarten workshop.
Okay.
And also learn about...
The website's right there on your screen too, so that's where people can go.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. And also learn about really the impact that investing and supporting early childhood education not only has on those young children, but it also supports that school readiness, and it impacts our K through 12 system as well.
Well, I will be definitely taking advantage of that. So I'm so glad you joined us today so that we can learn a little bit more. And big thanks to CapEd Credit Union for always being such a good support to children and education right here in our community. And coming up after the break, National Prescription Take Back Day is coming up. And we will be talking about the importance of this event and how you can be involved on HealthLink Idaho. More after the break.